Good day. Once again, this is King Albert William Usher, and this episode is called The Process. The process of being locked up. The process of being put in a county mental institution until your trial date, until you are found guilty of the crime you were charged with, and you will be duly convicted. This is called the process. Understand, due process. Due process is this. This is the definition of due process, the reason you are being arrested and detained in the police station. A course of formal proceedings as judicial proceedings, carried out regularly, fairly, and in accordance with established rules and principles, called also procedural due process. A requirement that laws and regulations must be related to a legitimate government interest as crime prevention, and may not contain provisions that result in an unfair or arbitrary treatment of an individual, called also substantive due process. Editor's note: the guarantee of due process is found in the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution, which states, "No person," I'm reiterated, "no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law." And in the 14th Amendment, which states, nor shall any person, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. The boundaries of due process are not fixed and are the subject of endless judicial interpretations and decision-making. Fundamental to procedural due process is adequate notice prior to the government deprivation of one's life, liberty, or property, and an opportunity to be heard and defends one's right to life, liberty, or property. Substantive due process is a limit on the government's power to enact laws or regulations that affect one's life, liberty, or property rights. It is the safeguard from governmental actions that is not related to any legitimate government interest or that is unfair, irrational, or arbitrarily in its furtherance of government interests. The requirement of due process applies to agency actions. 3. The right of due process. Acts that violate due process. I'm glad we hit that point where it says acts that violate due process, because look at the word due and then understand the word process. Give me a minute and we'll go over those two words.